It's not that you lack discipline. It's that something inside you quietly removes it before you even notice. You sit down with intention, you feel ready for a change, and for a moment you truly believe this time will be different. But somewhere between that decision and the actual action, something shifts. Not outside of you, but within you. A subtle disconnect appears, and suddenly even simple tasks feel heavier than they should. You know the pattern. You plan everything perfectly at night, imagining a new version of yourself who wakes up early, stays focused, and finally becomes consistent. But when the morning comes, that version feels distant, almost like it belongs to someone else. You don't feel lazy, you feel split. One part of you wants change, the other quietly resists it without explanation. And the worst part is not failing, it's how familiar the failure starts to feel, like you've already lived this day before. And you can't understand why something so important still feels so hard to start. But what if the problem is not discipline at all? What if discipline is not something you are missing, but something you are protecting yourself from? Every time you try to stay consistent, there is a hidden emotional cost your mind calculates faster than your awareness can catch. Because consistency doesn't just mean effort, it means identity shift, and your mind is not built to accept new identities easily. So instead of letting you change, it creates resistance that feels like procrastination, laziness, or distraction. But underneath it, there is something deeper, familiarity. Your mind chooses what it already knows over what it does not yet trust. It doesn't feel like a choice, it feels like safety, even when it quietly limits your growth. Your mind chooses what it already knows over what it does not yet trust. This is why you don't fail randomly, you fail predictably. You return to the same habits not because they are stronger than you, but because they are more familiar than the version of you you are trying to become. Discipline collapses at the exact moment your identity feels uncertain. And every time you push forward, a quiet internal alarm tells you to return to what feels like you, even if that version of you is the one you want to escape. And that's why willpower alone never solves it, because it is not a surface problem. So the real battle was never about motivation or discipline. It was always about whether you are willing to feel unfamiliar to yourself. And until that changes, you won't keep failing because of lack of effort, but because of loyalty to who you used to be.